Movie buffs, welcome back to the Movie Bag. This is Day. In today's video, we are going to do movie night picks number 10. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at what we're going to watch for our next movie night. And we're going to start this off with our horror pick. Our horror pick for this week is just to continue from our horror pick from last week. We're going to go with Sinister 2. Sinister 2 is a fantastic, scary movie. It's a great follow-up to the first Sinister movie. It's just as scary, Sinister 2. You won't go wrong with Sinister or Sinister 2. Next up, we have our drama for the week. Our drama for the week is going to be Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost. I remember when this movie first came out. I was very young. This movie came out a long time ago. This movie was one of those movies. You know, guys, for gals of a certain age, when certain movies came out, they was like the buzz. You know, if your mom, went somewhere and you went with her and she bumped into her girlfriends, whether she was getting her hair done, she was shopping or whatever, and certain movies came out, they would just talk about it, like the guys talk about certain movies. But there was like movies that was considered the talk of the town, like this one, Fatal Attraction, The Matrix. Certain movies got a lot of buzz, and you just hear regular people who are not even movie buffs discussing these types of movies. And this is one of those, Ghost. People discussed it and talked about it because it was a fantastic movie. And it still holds up great to this day. Next up, we have our Thriller. Now, this is one that I saw and I loved it. First time I saw it, I loved it, and I knew I had to own it. LL Cool J, Johnny Lee Miller, Catherine Morris, Val Kilmer, and Christian Slater in Mindhunters. This movie is fantastic. It's basically, I don't want to tell you too much about this one because it's a great thriller and I want you to watch this one. Basically, these guys are all top of their class of law enforcement, meaning if there's an FBI agent, the FBI agent would be considered like a top level. LL is a Philadelphia cop who's considered like a top SWAT cop. So basically Val Kilmer, he was gathering top law enforcement officers from different types of agencies, FBI, ATF, and he got them all here, and they're going to have to go through like this program. But the program isn't really what you think. It's fantastic. You got to check this one out. Mindhunters. Who you think is doing everything really isn't. That's why this is such a great thriller. It really is. This is a movie, in my opinion, that did not get hardly any love when it first came out. And if you haven't seen this movie, you are doing yourself a disservice. Especially if you're the type of person who like thrillers, you're going to like this one. You really are. Next up, we have our comedy pick. We got Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Goldie Hawn in Death Becomes Her. Now, this is a comedy, but it's also a dark comedy. This movie does not take itself too seriously. It is an excellent, this is like a very good example of a dark comedy. There's plenty of dark comedies out there, but this is an actual dark comedy. It's a fantastic movie. It's a great watch. Meryl Streep, Goldie Hawn, and Bruce Willis played their parts in this movie. Death Becomes Her. Fantastic film. You need to check this one out. Our sci-fi pick for the week. We're going to go with, now, all the two new Dune movies is all the rage, and rightfully so. They're well done. They're beautiful movies. They're like considered, to me, on my system, both of those movies are considered like reference disc quality. I got 4Ks for both of them. Fantastic movies. I can't wait for the next installment. I'm understanding there's going to be a third. But let's go back in time a little bit to where it first started, with Frank Hubert's Dune. Yes. I actually have a DVD upgrade, a Blu-ray upgrade coming for this guy from Groove.com. You'll see that in my next Groove haul. I'm just waiting for it to come in. I had this in my collection for a very long time. This is a double disc collector series. I think this is a triple disc if I'm not mistaken. No, it's a double disc. And I used to love these style cases for DVDs. I remember I had all the Star Trek movies, the original Star Trek movies in these cases. And I also had the Die Hard series in these cases. I just like these cases, even though they're thick and bulky. So I did like them back in the day. Not so much now because they take up a lot of space. But anyway, Dune. This is where it all started. Great movie. It aged it aged. It did. I'm not going to say this movie aged really well, but I'm looking forward to the Blu-ray. This one looks okay for as old as it is, but I'm hoping the Blu-ray, they cleaned it up and they did a good job transferring it. So that's Dune, the original Dune that started it all. Our biopic for the week is Philip Seymour Hoffman and Capote. Now, this movie is primarily about his book, In Cold Blood. Fantastic movie, great book, and it was like a little TV miniseries based on, TV movie based on the actual book. This is based on the book, but this is based on Capote gathering all the information for the book, like talking to the killers and the one killer in the jailhouse, going to the jailhouse to visit the killer, he's gathering all the information for the book. And in this particular movie. So this movie is more about Truman Capote himself, but it's about him in the book In Cold Blood, which I do believe is his bestseller. Truman Capote got a decent amount of work out there. But yeah, there's actually a TV show, I have it in my collection, based on the actual killings themselves. Great biopic. Philip Seymour Hoffman is just a Hollywood legend icon who's just died way too soon. And our Western pick for the week is going to be Guy Pearce, Dakota Fanning, Emily Jones, Clarice Van Houten, and Kit Harington in Brimstone. I really can't say enough good things about this movie. This is a fantastic movie. Guy Pearce was an absolute bastard in this movie. This was a fantastic Western movie. This was a fantastic movie. I liked the way the movie was separated into different segments. Guy Pearce he was something in this. I mean, wow. And Dakota Fanning, she was great. Everybody was great in this movie. Everybody was good. This was a good movie. Some people say they didn't like this movie because of certain things that went on in the movie, but I look at it like that was what they was going for the movie, and they did a great job in this movie. Like I said, Guy Pearce, he played the role of a guy called the Preacher, and he was something else. I'm telling you. This movie is a bit on the hardcore side, but if you can watch this movie and like really just sit back and watch it, you'll see that Brimstone is a fantastic movie. So that's our movie night picks for the week. We have Brimstone. This is a great Western movie. I highly recommend you watch this one. I recommend all these. That's why they're movie night picks. Capote, if you have not seen this one, you need to check this one out. It's a banger. Dune, this is where it all started. So if you got the two new ones or seen the two new ones, you need to go back and check this one out and see what inspired it. Again, those two look a billion times better, but that's not the point. The story, no matter how old a movie is, no matter how rough a movie is, the good storytelling in this movie is still going to be here, regardless of how it looked by today's standard. The story is still intact. Death Becomes Her. This is a fantastic dark comedy, a really, really dark comedy, but a good comedy nonetheless. Mindhunters, a fantastic thriller, a really good thriller. I'm thinking about upgrading this guy to Blu-ray if I can find a Blu-ray for this. I haven't really tried to source a Blu-ray for this, but I'm quite sure it's out there somewhere, I'm hoping. And I know I need to upgrade this one to at least Blu-ray, but if they got a 4K for this one, I can find it for the low. I would definitely get a 4K for this one. Ghost. And you believe me, 4Ks, I prefer 4Ks for science fiction movies or action movies, movies with a lot of fast action on the screen. Movies that's not those, I don't care if I can get them on 4K or Blu-ray, but this one, I would like to see what this looked like with a well-done 4K transfer, you know? I wouldn't mind. And Sinister 2. If you haven't seen Sinister 1 or Sinister 2, you missing out on something. These are scary as shit, both of these. Like I said before, the first one was scary, and so was this one. That's your movie night picks number 10. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. This might even be 11. I'll correct it in the title. If it's 10, I'll put 10 in the title. If it's 11, I'll put 11 in the title. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.